So, I guess this is the impromptu afternoon, Sunday afternoon Gnome Show. I am your host, Josh, with American Gnome Productions. We just completed the very last part of Diablo 4's Server Slam beta. And now we need to find something else to do with our afternoon, because there's a hole in my heart now that was filled with demon slaying and new horizons, and now that's been taken from me, and I'm having a trouble dealing with it. I'm a little bit sad, but we'll be all right. Literally, it's the 14th of May, and I think June 4th is when it goes live. Oh shit. Parent, you know what? Let's actually, let's because that's fairly big news. Yeah, it's a so I've got two videos that we're gonna watch. I found something we're gonna watch. We're gonna look at Diablo 4. The devs have confirmed big changes since we just finished the beta. Let's go check that out. Let me put this on pause. And then we got to look at something.
Today revealed that the Necromancer is getting a much-needed buff. What exactly is changing? Also, new responses from the dev team about lingering issues and what they're going to do about that. Plus, a plea to Blizzard about the world boss, and some key advice on how to take down the shop yourself, but also as a team. So, let's get into this first and foremost with this one right here from Adam Fletcher of Blizzard. It says, "Hi all, the team has just deployed a hotfix for the Diablo 4 Server Slam that will be addressing some of the feedback we've been seeing regarding Necromancer pets and their survivability." Now, this is a bad.
I mean, they're still bad. It's still bad.
To download a new update, the hotfix will take a few hours to deploy to all users. Remember, the Server Slam test will be ending at 12 p.m. PDT on Sunday. That is such a bummer. I mean, I was really hoping that it would go until Monday, but
me too.
Well, I wish they would honestly extend it now. Or on the Necromancer buff, does this change damage at all? Does it change only the health of the skellies? Let's go ahead and take a look at that, because we've got the question right here from Jazz, who says this: does it buff their damage or just health? I didn't think the damage was so bad if you take on the passives. And the response from Adam Fletcher is it addresses survivability, so health. So no adjustments to the damage of your skellies and that sort of output. Let me know if you guys think that needs to be adjusted. I'm kind of curious. Now, Rod Ferguson of Blizzard also had some words about what's going on with the Necromancer. Check it out right here. Definitely hearing the feedback on the Necro nerfs. I'm feeling them too. Remember, balance is a journey, not a destination. It takes tweaking to get it right. So my assumption is if the community is loud enough, if it's a needed change, they will be adjusting it. So it's not the end of the story for the Necro. If things need to be adjusted going forward, they will.
They still need to be adjusted
and
a little
right
bit.
now, I'm actually playing, of course, yes, my Barbarian, and I am having a blast with the Barbarian. Let me know if there's any other Barbarian fans out there. Of course, sound off. But yeah, let's keep going with the official news. I was on to say this right here. Is it common for goblins to drop no loot in their death? I just killed one, level 16, in the deep white. No loot, just gold. And the response is this one from Rod Ferguson, looking into that too. I noticed that, several times chasing down these goblins, and they would drop practically next to nothing. And I'm like, okay, so now they have added troll mechanics into the game. So it's good to know.
It may be troll mechanics. I mean,
as well. All right, so
they all can't be winners. But if you're trying to manage what you're already doing, plus chasing down a loot goblin, yeah, it better be worth it.
Going to town to repair. When I went back through it out me into the area, a Shava spawns, and there was nothing there. Okay, I get the wordy stuff. All right, so the response is here from Adam Fletcher. Yeah, it's an issue we are tracking, but I recommend partying with people in your instance before the fight, which will prevent that, or just not reporting back, as that will lead to that issue. I recommend not like teleporting at all during the middle of an Ashava boss battle, to be honest with you, because your team needs you engaging this boss and causing as much damage as possible. So I don't think, it's weird. Do you guys think it should even be an option that you should be able to teleport out of a boss battle that's already live and going on? I honestly think that you should be in it, until the very end.
Like if you die, you die.
During the boss.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
the
bosses were they were hard. Like, and I cussed my ass off, and I'm but I don't want to change. I like the worst thing you can do is make the enemies too easy. Like, fuck that shit. I don't want to play that game either. I like a challenge. I'm stubborn as fuck when I want to do something. So, make them difficult.
Likely addressed and ironed out by launch. Now we have some PC stuff going on here. So Brawl8413 is back. He says, "Hey Adam Fletcher, I did get that patch downloaded that let me do the DLSS. I only have the FSR available at launch. FSR was giving me 165 frame per second on balance at ultra settings. DLSS on performance with some settings below ultra is giving me around 90 frames per second with dips below 60 on the RTX 3080. And the response is this. Now he does have an actual question here. Hold up. He says, I forgot the actual question. Is this a performance bug or issue? Would it be possible to let NVIDIA card users select FSR or DLSS since they are compatible with both? And the response is, team told me most optimizations for DLSS are coming on day one. But yeah, there seems to be a day one patch that is going to be in the works, of course. So I would expect some sort of day one patch for basically all platforms as well. But on the PC side of things, it seems like they're fine-tuning performance issues and things like that even further. Let me know how it's running for you guys on PC, by the way, now. So we got another question. It says, hi, hey Rod. Appreciate the hard work. Is there any chance our progression carries to the main game from the beta? Thanks and keep up the great work. And Rod Ferguson says, sorry, no. Fresh start at launch. So it's going to be basically the same difference from the open beta, what we experienced here with the server slam. It's going to be a total fresh start and reset, essentially. Now, what's next? We have this one right here. It says, have you tried the Druid this weekend? What are your opinions?
It's nothing matters right now. Anyway.
Difficult to play. And the response is
it may change several things.
I didn't have any real issues, especially considering you don't have access to the fast mechanic yet because it's in stock sprint. So I've been hearing mixed reactions right now about the Druid, that some people are enjoying the Druid, and overall I'm also noting that people are enjoying the actual challenge of the server slam as opposed to the open beta. That you guys are really embracing it, and I think partly that's due to what I call living in the era. Elden Ring and that sort of thing. Actually, I think helps this sort of instance with having it a little bit more difficult, because I believe that a lot of you guys also love those styles.
I gotta say, like, at least from my generation, like, all the games were hard. We started on Atari and Nintendo and Super NES, where the game was the game, the settings were the settings, unless you could tweak the settings a little bit, but most of the time you couldn't do any of that. It was just the game. 1, 2 player, select, start. Let's go, brother! So, games were just hard. And we expect them to be hard. Like, I don't know, like, we're not really on speaking terms right now, but there's this one gentleman. He's very much the easy mode guy. He does not want to struggle. He does not want to fucking have to learn how to do like a difficult fight, or to even be involved in a difficult fight. He wants to be the immediate hero. I'm always pleased when I play a game and it's fun, and I didn't like it was challenging, but I didn't it's always cool when I excel at a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, this game is pretty hard, and wow, dude, you're pretty good this game. Okay. Sometimes that does happen, but more often than not, the best games are the ones where I've got to figure it the fuck out. I've got to change things, like, halfway through, adjust things, like consider other options and other strategies for doing something, even if I don't particularly like that style of battle. Sometimes you have to change your game to get results. I'm still mad about that fucking Moon Clan motherfucker. That he had my number. Damn it, he had my number, and I couldn't move fast enough. But that's the way it is, and that's the way I want it. Like, get good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be. Like, a game should not bar your entry into enjoying it. But I do believe a game should be challenging. That's why it is called a game and not a movie. If you want to watch a movie, there are those. But if you want to play a game for 30, 40, 460 hours, that motherfucker better be challenging and cool and deep and fucking lore heavy and combat heavy and boss heavy and secret heavy and motherfucking graphic heavy and motherfucking like soul heavy. Like, that motherfucker is especially now, where we're all jaded as fuck, and more likely to go play a fucking whatchamacallit, an indie game than we are a AAA title. Like, people are fucking nervous about this game. I'm nervous about this game. Like, I'm not. It's good. It's doing good. But still, there are certain things about Blizzard that make me fucking nervous. It's like Bethesda and Arcane and every other AAA game studio that has delivered but expects us to just buy the shit because it is from them. Games are a part of my life. I am not opposed to spending money on them. I want it to be worth my time and money. I don't want my brain to because it's happened before. While I'll be sitting there playing a game, and all of a sudden I sit there and I look at the screen. I don't want to spend money on it. I don't need anything that they are selling in the shop. It's all cosmetic, and even if it's not worth my money, because I know they're trying to fucking like shank me for just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to. Okay, so I need this pack of fucking currency, but it's not enough for me to do what I need to do. I've got to buy the next biggest thing, and it's done on purpose that way. And man, that shit really fucking kills me. I should just be able to buy an arbitrary amount of currency, and the little tally goes up, as I increase the currency fucking widget thingamajig, and that's that. Like I don't need you guys to nickel and dime me. I'm not rich and I'm not poor. I'm just a regular fucking dude who's like trying to get some fucking entertainment and some value when I'm not working. You know, and this being like almost a second job, like, you know, like games have to be worth it now. You know, back in the day, you just go buy one, rent it. You know, especially older games. You bought it. If it was bad, it was bad. If it was good, it was one of the best games ever. And you know, you might even still be playing it today. But think about all the games since the 2000s, 2010s that you just don't play anymore. You played it, it was good, but you put that motherfucker in the closet, or you sold it when you were done, or gave it to your little brother or your best friend. Whatever. But a lot of those games you don't hold on to unless you do. If you're a collector like I tend to be, you will keep every fucking game you have. That is until the digital age, when you buy games and it's just code. There's no more boxes. There's no more physical art or assets. And I understand because it's cheaper, and it's cheaper to market, and it's cheaper to get units to retailers when you can just give them an access code to, like, yeah, there you go. Whatever.
And having it a bit more difficult, having that option at least, in my opinion, is a good thing. All right, next up, we have drop rates. So let's talk about that. But guess what? We got to go over to Reddit for that one, so let's do that. So we have this one. Drop rates are supposed to be this low at this tier and level. You're all a bunch of Diablo 3 casuals or haven't played many ARPGs. Think about it. If the cap is 100, you're level 20 and it goes up multiple world tiers, it makes sense the drop rate is this low for what we're at. You get a few as you level, but you don't farm them at this tier. This is what happened to Diablo 3. It went from very hard to 5,000% increased damage because all the damn whining. I waited too long for a proper Diablo title for it to get ruined by casual Andes. That's one instant gratification end rant. And a lot of people agreed with this
I do
as well. So
I don't need a lot of drops
like
either.
A lot of people also
I want the drops to be significant and meaningful.
Days of Diablo 2.
I mean,
so it seems like Blizzard is real.
That is another thing I did notice during the server slam is the rare drops were enough to where I was like, yeah, that's cool. That's a good upgrade. I should consider maybe upgrading this one at the blacksmith until I can get something better, and everything else can get fucking like broken down, which I really appreciate. If I'm going to be collecting all these weapons and armor and everything, and have an inventory, then I want to be able to do something with instead of just selling it, because like currency and without anything to spend it on is just is pointless. So having it, being able to break it down and use for doing other things, spot on. Tooltips in this game are generally a lot easier to read. Thank you, Diablo Blizzard, for that. There's clarification is a little bit better on tooltips as well.
Really in tune to what the community wants, and they're headed in the right direction. Overall, I'm seeing a lot of positivity.
Please, Blizzard, do not pander to us. We want a good game. We want it to be good. This is your vision. Just don't make a fucking bad game.
Now, what they're doing with I think that bodes very, very well for the launch course. All right, so we have this one. Lock a Shafa to level 20, please. This just doesn't make any sense or to allow lower level players to join. Do you agree with this one or not? I personally think that there should be a minimum level requirement to enter a world boss where you can at least have a chance as a team.
Sometimes you just have really good fucking equipment and you can punch above your weight. There were not many times, but there were times in Diablo Immortal where because I had stacked my gems and came out the gate swinging with everything that I needed for the Necro. Like I had a less difficult time than I could have in the higher tiers. I think I made it to Hell 3 or Hell 4. Maybe Hell 5. I don't know. I made it up there before I fucking lost interest. But it was up there. I was near the top. But like there are times when when you especially when you've been playing video games for this long, min-maxing is sort of like that's the general rule of thumb. You want to cram as much fucking like numbers in on your side as you possibly can, so that when you do face the things, they don't send you back to the fucking spirit healer 7 times. Still mad about that guy with this fucking cleaver. I will have my revenge! But sometimes you can punch above your weight. Now, for boss, there should be like how they did things in Diablo Immortal, where you had like tiers for the bosses. I'm down for that. Yeah, because that's really how you test your mettle. And there were a lot of things about Diablo Immortal I liked. Just as many things I liked as things I didn't like. No, that's not true. There were more positives than negatives. It's just the negatives were really fucking bad. Yeah, let's get back to it.
To take down the world boss, because you can end up with a lot of griefers and people trolling if you don't have them. So I think that they will have to have this in. And it's interesting to me that Blizzard has
One second, I think I hear my cat. Sorry guys, just making some coffee real quick. I need it. I haven't had to eat it. Well, I've had a little bit, but it's last. All right, coffee is on.
Currently. Now, in the in-game, of course, things will change, and you're going to be seeing that less of an issue, I do believe. All right, so next up, I'm going to talk more about Shava. You are not level 20. Do not go to a Shava. Don't do it. It's basically like trolling. Even if you don't mean it, just don't do it. You're taking up a slot. There's only allowed 12, I believe, 12 people in an instance with Shava. So, yeah, you're taking up a slot. There's probably several people that take up slots. Yeah, just don't do it. So we have this one right here. It says to the people struggling with the Shava, put it on World Tier 1. It will make a difference. How to not get shot constantly. Poison resist on gear and elixir helps. Always try to stand on the boss's back legs. Will let you avoid every swipe, every frontal poison wave, etc. Now, when a Shava does slam her fist into two circles in front of her, she's going to pull them backwards and hit behind her. It's the only attack that will kill you if you're on her back legs. Dodge to the side or use an immunity if you have one. Also, there is a safe spot if you are directly in the middle between the two lines as well, according to other posters. Thanks for the info. Now, take helpful class abilities, vulnerability, damage reductions, etc. that will help all of the people in the area get the boss down quicker. Now, I know a lot of people are complaining that we were only allowed to get to level 20 in the Shava 25, but it is doable, especially at World Tier 1. If you switch it over to World Tier 1, it's also what the devs are highly recommending. Go for it. Now, some people are saying this right here that, yeah, Shava is massively overturned. World boss, my group of all 20s, didn't even get close to on track for a kill within 15 minutes, and people died constantly to poison and swipe one shots. Again, it's mostly because he was playing on World Tier 2, so if you're trying on World Tier 2 at level 20, and the bot's going to be level 25.
Yeah, you are a severe disadvantage at that point.
Blizzard is interested in testing out if that's actually possible, or if there needs to be changes or something like that. Now, furthermore, if this one, anyone else having a blast, I, for one, am having so much fun, and have had not a single issue. Hope you guys are having fun. This is so awesome to see. 1,200 upvotes. It seems like Blizzard is really on point with understanding the community thus far, really listening, and I'm curious to see how it goes. Now, of course, we have lingering questions about the Battle Pass, how that's going to go in the long term, how seasons are going to roll out, and hopefully everything goes smoothly with that. But so far, we're definitely on. Especially,
like, the Bone Splinters, like, they've definitely gotten a little nerf. But they were, they had a really nice spread on them. And once you took the secondary nodes and what do you call it? Like, so where, like, when it hits, it does it makes them vulnerable. Oh man, that helps quite a fucking bit. And I feel like once I get like some of the other perks engaged, things will be better. Yeah, like that blood, was it blood surge or blood boil, the second talent that I took, I don't like it. I almost never use it, and I'm definitely when we hit retail, I will be trying out a different ability altogether. Maybe the flay one, so I can get more. Yeah, I'll probably do that one so I can get corpse resource generation. Yeah, I think that will be the case. There's some good utility too.
The right track. Now we have this one right here. What's your favorite cosmetic you found from drops? Check out the Demon Blade. This thing is absolutely beautiful, and I'm so jealous. It's something I want so much, especially for my barbarian. Something like that would be so badass. Now, also, if you did not know, check it out. It says this: you can get cosmetic loot drops from random mobs. And you can see here a cosmetic trophy for, of course, one of the mounts. So that's actually something you will be able to obtain in the full version of the game. You can't really see it now because, yeah, we don't have access to mounts. Also, I really wanted to highlight this one. I totally agree with this post. It says, Wings of the Creator should be a looping emote. It would be cooler if the emote itself would be endless and just stop if you would move. Feels super short currently. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I'm like, that's it? It's such a cool looking emote. It would be cool if you can have this thing persist a little bit more, or a lot of it more, if you had like some options regarding that. Now, let's go ahead and get into your top comments. Remember, leave a comment down below if you end up anyone here in a future video, and please let me know what class you guys are playing with. I'm just addicted to the barbarian for some reason. Alright, so my most recent video was this one. This does respond about nerf, backlash, all new updates. Check it out on the channel if you did miss that one, of course. Alright, so let's get into it. Roll on down. Oh yeah, check out the giveaway as well. Now, Hasim says this: I played a werewolf melee build and found anything beyond the trash mobs to be quite difficult. You need to actually watch attack animations and manage cooldowns properly. Once I got used to this active style of play, it did become easier. I really enjoyed it compared to the zoom explosion gameplay of games like Path of Exile. So I totally agree. That is one thing I noticed even with the Barbarian, is that you have to really be more mindful about cooldowns when you're using your powers, reserving your powers for elites that come up on you and try to take you down. That is extremely important also as a barbarian. So yeah, totally agree with you. It makes you more, I guess you would say, on your toes, especially at World Tier 2. Alright, next up we have this one from Song Runner, who says, at the vendor where you infinite aspects, you can already hover over the final path before you hit.
I do get the feeling that they don't want you to cakewalk through this game. They don't want any, I wouldn't say, it's not they don't want them overpowered, they don't want people to just fucking one-click their way through this game. That's not even, no, they don't want people to cakewalk. You know, like you've got to work with your class and make it efficient and effective and fun to play. You know, it's got to be like, the whole point is for you to enjoy playing your class. And if you're spending all your time just trying to get the motherfucker to work, it might be time to sit down and maybe consider another class, or consider a whole nother approach for your class. Like you may just need to consider things from another point, or another viewpoint. I certainly do with again that second talent, that the blood boiling thing. Like, it just, I forget it's there, and it doesn't really help me. But having something that would generate corpses, that would help.
Commit, see all the stats of the item, including the item level. It's already in the game. The more you know, a great tip right there. Now, we have a third-party controller who says, my 2 cents, I love the fact I didn't experience any queue times on day 1. For the first world boss, the loot drops felt very appropriate. The dungeons felt fresh. My heartburn does come from how hard they nerfed the Necromancer. I agree the experience with skeletons was heartbreaking, that they needed to be refreshed after every trash fight was ridiculous. On paper, the minions look bad, but in gameplay, it was worse. So yeah, the good news is, guess what? You don't have to worry about that anymore. The Necromancer has seen a buff. So that is great news. All right, so there it is. The latest happenings around Diablo 4. Stay tuned for more news and updates. I'm sure that we're going to get news about the day one patch after the server slam. And of course, after the server slam, we have only a matter of it's like 2 weeks practically until the release of
about
early
2 weeks
access on June 1st. So that's going to be absolutely huge. That's June 1st at 4 p.m. PT time. For those of you that don't know, it's on the West Coast.
7.
Here in the U.S., you will get access
7 for East Coasters.
The full game if you pre-ordered the deluxe edition or the ultimate edition. So, and then everyone else, it's June 5th, 4 p.m. PT time. Yeah, then it's a world launch, of course, so it's going to be different for everyone. I'll be sure to make a video about everything. But thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. And
so, it is one of the reasons that I pre-ordered and spent $100 on your game, is because if you get the ultimate edition, or I guess either one of the upper tiers of the whatever. If you get one of the upper tiers, you get in on June 1st instead of June 5th. And considering that they like to do things on the weekend, let's see what June 5th is. Oh, it's a Monday. Oh, beautiful. So, so it comes out, we get ours on the 1st. That's Tuesday, or no, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, and then we have plenty of time. It's gonna come out on Thursday the 1st, and that'll be 7 o'clock for us. When I don't have to be to work till Friday, till 12 on Friday, so I can get some time in before I go to bed. And since it's retail now, I don't care about keeping up with anybody. So I'll just take my time. I'll play like an hour or two on the opening weekend, or the opening week, Thursday and Friday, Saturday and Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, when like the grand opening for everybody else starts. That's when I'll do the full swing. I'll probably use Thursday, Friday to get to level 20. Fair enough. Because I do want to start taking on Akshava as quickly as I can. What? Okay. A day after what? Ooh, wow. Alright, sorry, I'm just looking at fucking news stories and that shit's gonna fucking, like, I'll just be...
I will see you all next time.
No, I
Take
was
care.
over anyway. Oh, Sahara is free on YouTube Premium. It's actually a decent movie. Russian ships on. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like things are happening fast in Europe right now. Sorry, Ukraine. Be specific and respectful about it. It's not Europe. It's Ukraine that's fucking dealing with this shit right now. There's something else I wanted to watch. Oh, this. Okay, so
So it has finally happened. The thing that Wizards of the Coast have been dreading for years has inevitably occurred. The gibbet has been placed, the axe has been sharpened, and the executioner fed. It was a lovely meal, sausage and mash. But now the relentless swing comes. And Wizards of the Coast better have something up their big ol' wizard sleeves, because this is an unmitigated disaster for them. What's happened? Well, Critical Role have dropped Dungeons and Dragons. That's right, Critical Role,
finally
the
did it.
biggest streamers on Twitch, the animated series on Amazon, actual play having actual players who roleplay in games of D&D and got billions of people into it as a result, led by Matt Mercer, the now iconic modern dungeon master who spawned a billion Reddit posts authored by insecure DMs asking what to do if you're not as good as him, the man famous for having a whole effect named after him. Just wing it, by the way, that's the answer if you're not sure how to be as good as Matt Mercer. Just fake it till you make it. Also works for most careers in my opinion. Not pilots though. Probably not surgeons either. Critical Role is huge. Over the last half a decade, people who would never have thought to try D&D have been exposed to the game by Critical Role on Twitch, through the animated series on Amazon, or through good old-fashioned internet osmosis and Critical Role memes. And those people have thought to themselves, hey, this actually looks like a lot of fun, I'll try my hand at this. I'll have to tell all my chums at the cocktail club about this Dungeons and Dragons. And as a result, Critical Role have basically acted like a huge river, washing a countless number of fools who have never roleplayed outside of their bedroom into the sea of Dungeons and Dragons, to join those who have never roleplayed inside the bedroom. Even I'm saying, Matt would have made me feel a lot more immersed during the session. But that might be all over, because Critical Role have announced their new series, Candela Obscura, and this will launch on May 25th. And this new actual play series will premiere their very first new, completely bespoke TTRPG system, Illuminated Worlds. This is the very first proprietary TTRPG system from Critical Role, and it heralds a totally new era for their media empire, and a new one for Dungeons and Dragons as well. Let me tell you, if I were in the marketing department of Wizards of the Coast right now, I'd be hiding under the desk in terror, because this is really bad for D&D. For one, this is a huge symbolic break from Dungeons and Dragons by their biggest adjacent media friend,
yeah, it
Critical
is.
Role. Traditionally,
Like, that's
Critical Role
pretty much,
and D&D have been pretty buddy-buddy, with their main show being sponsored by D&D Beyond, and Critical Role using the D&D system all the time for their series. And hell, Matt Mercer even created content for Dungeons and Dragons, like the Edgelord class. I mean, the Bloodhunter class. Bloodhunter. There's nothing wrong with being an Edgelord sometimes, by the way. Everybody loved The Witcher, okay? Unfortunately, though, that love wasn't really reciprocated by Wizards of the Coast. Remember the OGL scandal? That time the Wizards of the Coast tried to update the D&D Open Gaming license? You know, the update that was designed to destroy the third-party D&D market. I remember that. Well, the OGL update was aimed squarely at, specifically, Critical Role. That was a huge element of the OGL scandal. Wizards of the Coast didn't mention them by name exactly, but the OGL changes that were being put into place were targeted at third-party creators who were making over $750,000 in revenue from publishing and creating content for D&D. And hey, what do you know? That's a relatively small club of creators, mostly consisting of a small room that they record all those Critical Role sessions in.
Yep.
Now, at the time of the OGL scandal, Mud Mercer and the lads had already been building
put a
their
knife
own
at the
TTRPG
throat of
system
your
for a
most
while under their gaming
lucrative
Barrington Press.
Twitch,
But no doubt
well,
their
I'm sorry,
plans got
media
hastened along
arm.
quite a bit by the declaration of war from Wizards of the Coast. And now we're seeing the fruits of that labor. But here's the thing. Critical Role are moving over to Illuminated Worlds for their new show, Candela Obscura. But this won't be impacting the flagship Critical Role show. Their big main headline show is still going to be sticking with Dungeons and Dragons for a while yet. So breathe easily, Dave, in marketing. You know, come out from under the desk. Candela Obscura is an ongoing horror-themed campaign, and the new TTRPG system they've created and are using for it seems to be designed for horror mystery games. Not totally surprising because Critical Role have created plenty of Call of Cthulhu actual plays on their channel, and this means that they're not necessarily hitting D&D hard directly like this one. Actually, it feels like their new TTR.
I would like to join a game of Call of Cthulhu. I really would, and I now have the setup to do the online, so it's there in the back of my brain. I was doing it for a while, and then my group kind of fell apart due to life. So, yeah.
RPG will be competing more with Chaosium here, and therefore Critical Role will be unlikely to return to Call of Cthulhu like that one shot they did a couple of years back, which is a bit of a pity because Call of Cthulhu is one of my favorite TTRPG systems, and I always enjoyed seeing it get spotlighted. There's nothing better than seeing your favorite things get thrown in your face unexpectedly, like hands. So I move my hands a lot when talking. Do you ever notice that? What's up with hands, huh? Hands are weird. Do you like hands? Do you really like hands? Because, if so, then I got the sponsor for you. This is Dragon Trappers Lodge, and they got hands! Only hands! Prepare to freak out your adventuring party with these handy STL files from Dragon Trappers Lodge. This month, they are releasing a whole handful of weird and wonderful miniatures in the Multiverse of Madness, all for only $12 from the Dragon Trappers Lodge Patreon, link in the description below. These miniatures are, without a doubt, some of the weirdest and most original I've ever seen. They ain't no hand-me-downs. But there's even more than just hands. We got centaurs with the top half of a horse and the bottom half of a man. That's owls and clockwork dragons. They even have a...
That's really nice.
Iron golem. And even better, all of these weird monsters come with the rules to use them in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition.
Monk.
Imagine confronting your players with the Fingler Monk. Hands down, that's gonna be a pretty memorable night. On the other hand, if you prefer your RPG adventures to be less Adam's Family and more The Ritual, then you can also get the Darkwoods STL files from Dragon Trappers Lodge this month too. Also for only $12, unless you sign up for the veteran tier, in which case you get both the Multiverse of Madness and the Darkwoods together. Now that's the left hand washing the right. The Darkwoods is all about the forest,
that looks
similar
good.
to Wood Elves, but with a decidedly
that's wait. Not to get anybody in trouble, but never mind.
There are evil skull-faced
Those look
dryads,
cool.
monstrous crones with too
Those are
many
cool.
limbs, and this fawn. He just wants to jam. And if you're into war games, then you'll like knowing that the Darkwoods not only has rules for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, but are also a fully playable faction for one-page rules, you know, if you want to try your hand at that. So check out the Dragon Trappers Lodge in the link below and sign up for only $12 and experience it firsthand. Did those hand puns get out of hand? Regardless, not to be heavy-handed here, but does this new Critical Role campaign actually have Wizards of the Coast celebrating? I mean, if Candela Obscura and Illuminated Worlds are competing more with Chaosium, and Chaosium are one of Wizards' biggest competitors, then I mean, that's good for Wizards of the Coast, right? And seriously, they really do seem to be grabbing a lot of Call of Cthulhu vibes. All the promotional stills of the new CR show are totally reminiscent of Call of Cthulhu. And this looks a little bit worrying for Chaosium. I'm sure there were lots of people who got exposed to Call of Cthulhu through Critical Role, and this could be eating into their market share somewhat. Huzzah, say Wizards! No, I'm afraid it's not quite time for Wizards of the Coast to start partying yet. David Marketing, take the lampshade off your head and stop photocopying your butt, because Illuminated Worlds is just the first of 2 proprietary TTRPG systems that Critical Role are coming out with. The second new TTRPG from Critical Role through Darrington Press is called Daggerheart, and it really looks to be replacing Dungeons & Dragons for the 4th campaign of the main flagship Critical Role game. Seriously, D&D's days really look to be numbered on Critical Role. I mean, look at this. Daggerheart is a fantasy adventure system. It is coming out in the near future, and every single element of Critical Role's output lately has been cultivated to avoid potential legal problems with Wizards of the Coast in the future by avoiding treading on the actual copyrightable elements of the D&D IP, and this can easily be seen, for example, in the Vox Machina cartoon show. It's clear where Critical Role.
I want to learn how to do the chroma key stuff.
The 4th campaign of Critical Role does move on to another TTRPG. It is going to be devastating to Dungeons & Dragons. No matter what way you slice it, we really could be looking at the end of the D&D Renaissance. And I'm not exaggerating. D&D became really popular for a while there because of a whole complement of factors, some as remote as the rise of the superhero genre in movies and the Big Bang Theory, leading to a culture of geek chic, making what was once nerdy cool. Add on top of that Stranger Things providing a massive boost of exposure of mainstream audiences to D&D, as well as the lockdown over the pandemic, and of course, Critical Role. Well, geek chic is still around, sure, but that's mostly passive media like television. And lockdown has ended, and Stranger Things is currently quiet because of the Writers Guild strike. But even once that strike is over, all the kids on Stranger Things are pushing 30 now, so it'll probably be over in a season or 2. And it's obvious that Wizards of the Coast kinda knew this, and they had been hoping to replace those pipelines of new role players with things like the D&D movie. But unfortunately, that kind of bombed. Honor Among Thieves was intended to be a huge cultural touchstone, and now it's looking like there won't even be a sequel. It's all gone a little bit Jeremy Irons. I love you, Jeremy. Please write back. Wizards of the Coast just don't seem to have anything new on the horizon to bring new mainstream audiences into D&D, and that's really scary for the Dungeons & Dragons franchise. But
so I see why people just get the green background. So I'll have to look into getting
saying
that.
Critical Roles move away from D&D 5th edition will lead to more exposure of the wider TTRPG marketplace, creating a healthier role-playing game hobby overall. And I'll be honest, that's a perspective I'm pretty sympathetic to. There is a pretty compelling argument to be made that exposing new players to more than one game at an early stage in their TTRPG careers gets them all lubed up and ready to try some other games and not get locked into a closed ecosystem like the one surrounding D&D. It's easy to forget sometimes that Dungeons & Dragons really is completely unlike any other TTRPG in the market. If someone gets into Dungeons & Dragons, they're not necessarily getting into tabletop role-playing games. D&D players have an entire third-party market catering to their every desire. If I'm a D&D only player and I want to try something different, there's an entire marketplace of third-party materials that still support D&D 5th edition, but add a little bit of variety to my experience. This is something something that no other has to the same extent. This is the dark underside to the huge cottage industry of creatives that has sprung up around D&D, and this has the effect of making it harder for D&D players to get into other games or convince their friends to try other games. Because there's so much content that is catering to 5th edition, why move on to something else? These new Critical Role Darrington Press made role-playing games are different. If new audience get into role-playing through Illuminated Worlds or Daggerheart, they are in theory better consumers for the marketplace because they'll be more likely to try other systems. Darrington Press, a Critical Role, they just can't quite saturate and dominate the horizons of new players the way the Wizards of the Coast can with D&D. Maybe one day I won't have to describe my current role-playing game fixation to my non-role-playing acquaintances with the line, it's like D&D, but... So yeah, regardless of your opinions on Critical Role, or the Matt Mercer effect, or the way that his eyebrows make me feel when I'm lying awake at night, this is great for all of us. It's great for indie games and for competitors to Wizards of the Coast, and therefore not great for Wizards of the Coast. But you know, monopolies are bad, so I ain't shedding any tears. I like variety in the market, what can I say? But here is the thing that no one is talking about, the little scorpion sting in the tail, the curl of the finger on the proverbial monkey paw. This switch could hurt Critical Role 2. This move into proprietary systems isn't without risk. It's a little bit of a gambit on their part. Critical Role brought lots of people into Dungeons & Dragons, sure, but they themselves were helped by the fact that they were playing Dungeons & Dragons. D&D has a lot of osmosis in wider culture. Hell, everyone at the cocktail parties knows about it. Thank you for that one, Chris Cox. I'll take that to my grave. And for my own part, my first exposure to role-playing games was watching Dexter's Laboratory as a kid and seeing them play a game with miniatures and role-playing, and I instinctively knew that they were playing Dungeons & Dragons. I don't know how, but even as a child, that's how I conceptualized it back then in the late 90s. I didn't think of it as a tabletop role-playing game, it was D&D. And this brand awareness in wider society helped Critical Role get their foot in the door with many people. Playing D&D is a known thing that people do, and that familiarity helps folks get into it. And Matt Mercer and the crew knew this. I mean, they moved from Pathfinder to D&D when they started streaming their private games because it has that cultural cachet. Now, when they do their actual plays, there will be a not insignificant conversation that has to take place every single time you talk about it to new people. Oh, they're playing Daggerheart. It's like Dungeons & Dragons, but... now, Critical Role joined everybody else in the shadow of the Wizard King. I hope this helps us get to the world where one game doesn't dominate the role-playing game market, but we're not there yet. And Critical Role...
The more I listen to her, the more I want to get back into where my head was when I was trying to break into TTRPGs. I've got I want to do some. I want to do some Call of Cthulhu. I need to find a game where I can do Call of Cthulhu as a player.
Do have a huge audience and a huge fan base, and that will greatly help them. But this isn't going to be easy. What if the next season bombs? What if people don't like the mechanics or the system of Daggerheart? Are Critical Role just gonna go back to D&D? Will they continue to try and push the new system? I don't know. Really, the question is, are Critical Role too big to fail? I don't have the answer to that yet, but one thing is for certain. All of this means that Hasbro Wizards' business model may be changing for the worse as a result. And if you want to know more about that, check it out here. And a huge thanks to my patrons, especially Sonic Bread, CryptoKev, and Novany. And to all my patrons, thank you so much. Check out patreon.com/Discourse Miniatures if you want to support the channel, and I'll catch y'all next time. Bye-bye!
What lengths would you go to save your infected offspring? Much like earning a Klondike bar, would the weight of your horrific decisions come crashing down on you as you look to the sky and scream about what sort of God would allow this?
Shit.
The alternative...
Sorry. That's what happens when I don't pay attention.
You can't take it back. You can't take it back. You can't take it back.
Gordon Ramsay challenge Uncle Roger. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay.
Hiya! Uncle Roger!
Stealing Uncle Roger catchphrase?
It's your favourite chef, Uncle Gordon. Now, honestly, you've given me such a panning over the last 5 years. It's now time for me to put you under pressure. Guess what? I'd like you to attempt to cook my delicious Lao-inspired crispy whole red snapper from my latest cookbook, Uncharted.
Thank you for your cookbook, Gordon. But to be honest, Gordon, this don't even look like cookbook. Hiya. It just look like some random middle-aged guy going traveling. What is this? National Geographic, yeah? Every time Uncle Roger looking for good recipe, my favorite place to go is National Geographic.
Now, I know you can do this, but I can't wait to see if you can actually cook.
Of course I can.
Now, I hear your Hiya special is dropping on the 4th of June, so
Nice, Gordon, know about my comedy special, Hiya Special, dropping June 4th, only available for 2 weeks. So niece and nephew, if you haven't buy ticket, go click link in description. Buy it now.
So, if you fail this cooking challenge, maybe you need to stick to your day job, young man. Bring it on, good luck. Can't wait to see what you're gonna do.
First, we make dipping sauce for the fish. Gordon give you all measurement for every single ingredient. But niece and nephew, just use feeling. Fish sauce, lemon juice, but eye chili, garlic, bit of water, mixed together. Taste to see if need improvement. I think bit more fish sauce and lemon. Remember, niece and nephew, fish sauce very strong flavor. But for Asian food, use the right amount, not the white amount. Perfect. Gordon, I know your recipe called for red snapper, but Uncle Roger can't find anywhere near my house. Hiya. You send me cookbook. Next time you want to challenge me, send me red snapper also. Uncle Roger using gilt head bream. It okay replace it because it's similar meaty white fish. By the way, meaty white should be Uncle Gordon nickname. It's so fresh. No fishy smell at all, and the scale not slimy. Look at the eye not red at all. That's how you know fish fresh. Fish head so nice, you look into the fish eye, you can see the fish memory, pain, sadness, and joy all in one. Make the food tastier. Dry the fish a little bit because we want to make sure after frying it crispy. You want the fish to be drier than my ex-wife Auntie Helen. And we score the fish. Scoring just fancy cooking term for cutting fish little bit so it cook better. Don't be lazy. Score both sides. Season the fish with kosher salt. Feel free to be generous with it. It don't matter. It's not gonna be too salty. Give the fish nice massage. Uncle Roger imagining this fish to be like Auntie Esther. And don't forget, the inside of fish cavity also needs salt. Feel free to salt bay that shit. But Gordon, just kosher salt not enough. You also need the make shit good ping of flavor. The cocaine of cooking. MSG for you. Season everything generously. Stuff the cavity with garlic, ginger, Thai basil, lime leaf for some nice citrus flavor, lemongrass. Jamie Oliver loved to spank lemongrass.
Now I need to spank it.
Food is for eating, not for spanking. Just cut lemongrass. Instead of spanking, just use your knife. Hit like that. Crushing it release flavor. Just imagine lemongrass like your enemy.
Okay.
Stuff it in there. Uncle Roger worried all the stuff in there gonna fall out when I fry it, so use some skewer to zip it up. When we stuff things into fish cavity, usually we use it when we steaming fish, but deep frying. The moment fish go in wok, all the stuff in there completely burnt. Not sure this gonna make the fish more flavorful. Gordon, let's see how your recipe is. Done. Time to cook. Grab your wok. Wok not just for egg fried rice, niece and nephew. Wok is most versatile kitchen appliance. You see this shit? Throw away your saucepan. Don't need this. Use wok for everything. All you need in kitchen is wok, rice cooker, and white people wok, aka cast iron skillet. Heat up your wok. Remember, don't use olive oil for frying. This vegetable oil.
Found what I was looking for.
Wait for oil to
Okay.
get hot. Gordon traveling all over the world, but he don't go to Malaysia. Ah, this the one, remember? When Uncle Roger reviewed Gordon making egg fried rice for you. Gordon got 2 woks with
Alright,
a wok
yeah.
boy. Every page, Gordon cooking outdoor like a homeless. Uncle Roger remember being married also. Every time wives argue with me, I have to cook outside too. So Uncle Roger feel your pain. Gordon and his wife argue so much, he published a whole book. See, that's how you know oil hot enough. But niece and nephew, be very careful because once fish go in, the oil gonna squirt out a little bit.
Man, that looks
Leave
really
it in there
good.
for 10 minutes. Uncle Roger living with my nephew Nigel, so I'm cooking in his kitchen. This looks too nice to be kitchen, nephew Nigel. See here, see, wallpaper in kitchen. You fucked up. Sauce gonna squirt on there. And look at all his kitchen utensils. Look at this. What is this white people shit? The only Asian thing in this kitchen is my wok. And look, see how nephew Nigel store rice? Asian kitchen, we store rice in big bag. Nephew Nigel so white, he decant his rice into this. Nephew Nigel, start shopping in Chinatown, stop shopping at Zara Home. What Uncle Roger tell you? All the stuff gonna fall out. Stuff for what? Stuff for what? Lemongrass falling out, garlic falling out. Fuyo, it looks so good.
Fuyo!
It smells so good also. Gordon, what do you think? What do you think?
That looks really good.
In Southeast Asia, everybody eat fish with hand. So dig in. Look, crunchy on outside, nice and soft on inside. Not bad, not bad. Gordon, your cookbook not bad. Thank you for sending to Uncle Roger. Niece and nephew, remember, Haya special dropping June 4th. Go get ticket now.
Where are you from? Are you from Boston?
Originally from Guangzhou.
Guangzhou, China. China, okay. China, good country. Good country. Good country. Good country. Woo. We have to say that now, correct? All their phone listening. All their phone listening. This nephew got Huawei phone. They all listening. You use ExpressVPN?
I'm sorry. Like again, I'm fucking like I'm thinking like I'm not recording. I'm gonna have to probably pull that out. Because I'm doing a little work while I'm here. Because normally this early in the day I would. Oh, well, for me, I would be just getting out of bed like an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, getting my coffee just now. And doing my office work, you know, like editing videos and making sure the details are right and all that kind of good stuff, and getting them put out. So, I wasn't even thinking about it. I probably have to take that out. Sorry, Uncle Roger. I do apologize. I do love your comedy, and I've seen quite a few of your videos. So, apologies. Batman becomes Superman's father.
Batman becomes Superman father. This comic is called Batman: The Last Night on Earth, and we see how Batman and the Joker wander around a twisted and sick versions of Earth. As Batman tries to investigate and figure out why the world the way it is, he has multiple encounters with his past peers that survived and were now trying to rebuild. As him and Joker continue on journey around Bay, he heads for the Fortress of Solitude to figure out what happened to Superman. On the way there, he ends up being saved by one of the Superman droids that maintenance the fortress. It is then revealed Lex moved there for a specific reason. Lex Luthor was pulling Supermans from different timelines and universes through Spectre capes. At the end of the comic, Batman goes back to Spectre's cape and he stands there as a spaceship lands right in front of him. The door opens and Batman grabs out a baby Clark and prepares to raise him. So that's how. Batman becomes Superman father.
That is a... Yeah, that makes my head hurt a little bit. But, okay, I get it. Okay. I'll have to... all right. That disturbs me a little bit right there. I'm not... yeah, all right. I have so many questions, though. I'll have to look that up. Okay, well, let's I mean, yeah, like there was an extensive power drop with the necromancer. I'm not gonna lie. It was still it's still fun to play, but wow, they took a lot of his toys away. And from what I understand, quite a few of I don't want to spend too much time on like I don't care for like long videos. No, it's not what I'm saying. I'm not trying to watch a long video. I want them to be short so I can get through a bunch of them. I like long videos. It's just not when I'm trying to move through content and keep things snappy on here. Okay. Oh, it's only 2. Okay. Yeah.
Necro's basically dead. After I get this character to 20, I'm gonna go and play Necromancer and see what it's like. Because everybody's been telling me, like they've been coming to my chat, spamming me, telling me, bro, Necro's dead. It's over. It's so bad now. Damn, bro. Like my minions are getting farmed. They weren't joking around with this shit. Huh?
No,
so bad, bro. They die so fast. Yeah, they hardly even get healed too. Bro, these minions are getting destroyed. Jesus.
Yeah, you need to the resource management perks are
just like straight up makes the game less fun. Okay, I'm gonna assume that this will kill them if they stand on it. Yep, it fucking did. Jesus, he killed all of them. See, like, even if I spam the heal on them, they just can't stay alive. So they literally just killed all of them.
this motherfucker.
I can't do anything. All my minions are just dead. Like, what do I do? I'm stunned. I'm just perma-stunned. Okay.
Yeah. This was really bad. You guys saw this. This is.
Thank God.
I mean, at least he fucking like. I think I have to just be a little bit stronger or better geared when I come back for him.
Necroskeletons need more HP back. Look at that. The top post. That Necromancer nerf. Oof.
Yeah.
And what else people think? Necromancer again. Necromancer minions are completely worthless. Let's see here. Yeah, everybody hates this. Holy shit. They get nerfed sucks, but they're responding to feedback. I think you can expect this to be changed again at release. But nobody said that this was a problem, though. It's annoying and not fun to have to resummon your minions over and over and over. And judging by the fact that almost every single post that's at the top of the Diablo subreddit is saying the exact same thing, I feel like that matters. And so it doesn't really matter like what you think the balance is or what you think the balance isn't. At the end of the day, the game sucks to play.
Again, I don't want to. I don't want to be able to walk through the game. That's not my intention. I want there to be challenge and reward for that challenge. I just want it to be a good game. I understand that they're trying to go make you use the source management perks more than just what we were doing was like basically a wizard or a sorcerer with minions, and I can hit long range and don't have to fucking. I mean, I get it, and I don't like. Okay, so because and I think this is probably why I had such a time coping with certain enemies. Is you have those enemies so tuned for the character for the classes as they were before you nerfed them that we can't. There's nothing we can do. I'm not entirely sure how he made it through that boss with him. I was doing my damnedest maybe I wasn't using the right weapon, or I don't know. It's obviously something that I have to figure out, and I'm not mad about that. That just takes more time with the game. You need to give us the tools to deal with it, and if we're spending all our time in the graveyard, then there might be an issue. But then again, that could just, we need to get good. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Mushroom ketchup. That's got to taste really good. No, that'll definitely get me some trouble. Well, okay. Let me put the music back on so you all don't get bored. The universe as you know it does not exist. Let me explain with a graph, and it's 41 minutes long. That's a good title. That's Crazy vegan lady wants to euthanize all cats. Yeah. Okay. No. I guess. Asmongold doesn't usually need my help to promote his videos, but sometimes his stuff is just fun to watch.
Exist? The vegan teacher doubles down on how diabolical she is. Should cats exist? If not vegan, they should either be veganized or euthanized. Choose one. Okay. Yeah, this is funny. Let's watch this. Should cats exist?
Yeah, let's hear it, lady.
Most of you won't like what I am about to talk about.
Okay.
You'll think that it's a bit over the top.
Yeah.
You'll think that it's a bit crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And
I hope like halfway through this video, an employee of like this Target comes over to her, is like, "Ma'am, you have to leave. You've been here for 4 hours. Like, you're scaring the other customers. This is affecting our business. Please leave."
you'll probably be angry also. But
Okay.
take a moment, try to open your mind, and just stick with me for a sec.
Open your mind.
You want to kill him.
We take care of cats,
He needs to die.
right?
Destroy him.
I had
He is a
2 of them
murderer.
several years ago. They were my first animal companions when I became a registered nurse,
Okay.
and I loved them dearly. But since then, I've become vegan, and I've come to see things a little bit differently.
These are now your enemies.
Don't get me wrong. I still find them absolutely gorgeous.
This is a cold blood.
Oh, it's because they eat
They're
animals.
so soft, and I like to
You
be
just
surrounded by them.
you just want to be
Okay.
surrounded by fucking
But
teddy
the truth
bears. Okay,
is
lady.
that
Okay.
Cats have no place in our homes
Yep.
or in our lives at all.
There it is.
They have been bred into existence and kept with us
Uh-huh.
as pets, but they should never have been.
Right, because because they can't
Humans
survive
just
on their
enjoyed
own.
their company, and so they use them for entertainment and for
killing
comfort.
machines.
But the sad thing is,
Another killing machine right there. You guys see him? He's out for blood.
that for every
I
person,
love how she's zooming in. Like, imagine, like, how do you film this video, right? And, like, if you're an employee at this store, like, how do you deal with this situation? There's, like, a crazy lady who's saying, she's, like, zooming in on different cats on cat food bags about how, like, yeah, kick her out, but you don't really want to kick her out because then that could escalate the situation. So you're just kind of like, because you're getting paid like $11 an hour, right? Like, you don't want to deal with this. You just want her to leave, and it's just, you don't want to have this be in your life.
who has a cat, they are paying people
Yeah.
to murder all kinds of other innocent
There it is.
animals.
There it is.
There it
Go
is.
ahead, let's cut to the
That
chase.
for every person
Yeah.
who has a cat,
That's right.
Uh-huh.
they are paying people to murder all kinds of other innocent animals.
There it is.
And that's not right.
So the problem, so is the problem cats or cat food?
Every time you buy cat food, you're paying somebody to murder other innocent animals who also had a right to live.
Oh my god.
The fish on this package
Is not real. If you look closely, you... It's not in the water.
wanted to live.
Yes, he wanted to
The
live.
fish on this package had a right to live.
It's only a
His
drawing.
or her life was as valuable as the life of a cat.
True, so true.
The cows in the industry.
Look at the cheese. That cheese wanted to live. That cheese wanted to live. Bro, that cheese had just as much of a right to live as you or I.
Who are abused in order to make this cheese also had a right to live and not be exploited
Yeah.
just for cat food. This package says, no cruelty tested, but it contains the body of an innocent animal.
Oh my god.
If your cats are not vegan yet, what are you waiting for?
Nature.
So I'm assuming that you tried to force your cats to go vegan and they died or they left. And that's why you don't like cats or anything about them. People are so fucking arrogant, man. Like, Again, we're so used to just changing the environment that we are in to suit us that we just can't deal with it when something lives lives outside of those norms. And it's a thing with people. It's a thing with people. We're just so nosy and arrogant and greedy, man. And lady, plants are living things too. Did you know that when you cut grass, that fresh smell is a defense mechanism? I mean, they're like peppers developed their capsaicins to keep things from eating it, and we go ahead and we just eat them anyway. So, not to mention that we cut down forests and what do you think? Like it's just the plants that you eat aren't living, that you didn't just take a life when you ate that, when somebody picked that plant. No, you don't want to think about that. You just want to think about your righteous morals. I see.
Vegan. Look at this ferocious, deadly killing machine right here.
Well, to be fair, they are killing machines. But so are we. We're the biggest fucking killers on the planet.
Monty Python, remember that rabbit? Yeah. Yeah.
If your cats are not vegan, you're paying for animal abuse. And
Shut
that's
the fuck
wrong.
up.
Go on Facebook and join a group called Vegan Cats to learn how to veganize your cat. Do it.
No.
I actually think Facebook should ban groups like that for promoting animal cruelty.
Yes.
I do. I think so. Like, it's one thing to like have an opinion, but like it's another thing to if you had a Facebook group and it's called "We Love Hamsters and Microwaves," okay? And
cows have straight up eaten snakes. You were on the food chain. The arrogance of our species.
everybody would post pictures of their hamsters in the microwave. I feel like Facebook would take that down, right? Like I feel like that's kind of that's kind
It's
of
misinformation.
sucks. You know,
Cruelty to animals too.
So in my mind, I feel like this is just kind of the same thing. It is. Yeah, she's a crazy. Yeah, she's a different kind of crazy cat lady. I don't know what to say. Read the comments.
I wouldn't trust her with any cats.
Sure.
I am 100%. I'm almost certain
She basically says
that the reason she doesn't have
tigers,
or she doesn't like cats
lions
or
and
she
tigers
doesn't
should
she
eat
believes it's
grass?
because she couldn't
Okay.
veganize her cats, and she might have gotten in
kind of
trouble
her
for
to
it.
keep all the mental hospitals in business. But yeah, there's a lot of people like that probably should be institutionalized. Perfect example of I don't actually do research. I just jump to conclusions and accusations. Well, the conclusion is that no. See, this is what these people don't understand. This is a person. It doesn't matter what the facts are. It matters about how it makes her feel, and it makes her feel bad that animals kill other animals. So then it's bad. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no there. That's it. If you think killing animals is horrible, then why do you think euthanizing cats is okay?
Veganize
because you're
cats.
stopping the spread. Okay, it's like COVID.
Fucking psychotic
Lady should go
bitch.
ask the lion to be a
Yeah.
vegan. I'm sure they'll be very understanding. Forcing your pets to become vegan should be illegal. Also, have you ever heard of keeping a pet rabbit? True. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want an animal that is a lawnmower, get a
I
rabbit.
felt like this with
Or a goat.
Reddit is like they should get rid of the like fat cat subreddits. Like I just don't. I don't know. I don't like that stuff. Like it's just not good. Yeah, chonkers, stuff like that. Not a fan. Cats are obligate carnivores, so veganizing them is literally torturing them. Yeah, I don't think that it's healthy for the cat. I mean, maybe it is. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a
It's not. They're
veterinarian,
exclusive
but,
carnivores.
you know, usually animals
Even the
with
kibble
sharp teeth have them
contains
because
like
they're carnivores.
it
That's
contains
just generally true, I think.
animal.
But, yeah, it's the way they're supposed to be. She's a hypocrite to boot. Bro, she's just crazy. Like, what
Yeah,
is
she's
this
just
all
crazy.
It's not hard to, like, why do people always get so surprised that there's a crazy person out there? She's nuts. It's not like it's some kind of like crazy fun, like, I can't believe this. Wow.
And you know, it's weird. They treat some animals like they're the most majestic thing in the world, and other animals like they don't exist, or like that, like that's not on their agenda, so they don't care about them. It's yeah.
Just nuts. It's not that rare. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, she's just crazy. Like, at least she's not going out shooting people.
That's true. Yeah, I heard Unicorn Wars is kind of crazy. Yeah, there's apparently a lot of stuff happened overnight with Ukraine. I'll watch that later. 1 hour of useless information about Fallout 4. I mean, that would appeal to me, I'll be honest, because I would go about my work and listen to that while I do what I need to do, like eventually when I have to edit this video, because there's a couple of things in here that I don't want really in there in the first place, just because I wasn't paying attention. Plus some dead air. This one maybe, because I'm taking steps into video editing now. It's gonna have to be that way. I feel like Diablo 4 is just fine for me. I don't think I need to go into PoE. I guess, yeah, you could. I mean, I plan on soloing it. Like, I don't. One of the things I liked about Diablo Immortal is the world boss battle, the way that you needed to be in a raid to do everything, and it works real well, because like when you do learn fights, and like when you do get proficient at playing your class, doing world bosses and things like that, they are more fun, and it is rewarding when the first time you actually get through a world boss, and it's heartbreaking when you're like you get close to doing it, and you die mid battle, because sometimes you don't get those rewards. Usually somebody will res you, but sometimes it doesn't happen. But they're fun, and they get you to work together with other people, and eventually everybody learns what they're supposed to be doing. And yeah, and they're accessible. You know what I'm saying? They're right there at the tree, and you were, and they were DPS based, like, or not DPS, but like they were tiered. So until you did this certain amount of damage, you were locked at a certain tier of the boss. Which, I mean, every week, yeah, you'd still get the good loot, and like and it does it more than anything. I think the world boss tiers drove me to get more equipment. I think I was on the big, like the final tier of the bosses, of the world bosses. Like, not the final, like, not the final difficulty tier, but the final world boss before I lost interest. And I like that, because it makes me go out and farm for legendaries and to level my character. Like, it does that provides the incentive that I need. I hope they have that in Diablo 4. That would be cool. It would incentivize me to do the Paragon levels and stick with the content. And I remember with like Diablo 2 when they had the online and everything, they really started putting things together in the end game section of everything. So yeah, no, I'm down. I just, please God, just release a really good game. That's all I want. Well, let's actually. Hi, sweetheart. And let's go for upload date. We can listen to something while we're waiting to. What is a good one to listen to? No, fuck it. Let's not have too much going at once. I don't. All right, let's look at this guy up top.
Hey guys, how's it going? Creparian here. We have a Diablo 4 video for you guys once again. Now keep in mind, I am recording this right after a 2-day, almost straight play session and streaming and all that, and it's been fun, but you know, I'm a little bit spent. It has been quite a wild ride.
It has.
Rather than focusing on, you know, small topics and making a bunch of, you know, short videos, I'm going to basically give you guys the full briefing of what went down with the Server Slam event, which is a 2-day, recently announced play session weekend of Diablo 4. And we get Diablo 4 in like 2-3 weeks or something, so it's coming right up. And we're going to start with the beginning. And there are a lot of changes. If you played in like the open beta stuff and you were like, oh, I'm definitely going to play this, well, you might want to reconsider a few things. And I'll go over my journey of reconsidering some of those few things. So, first off, we're going to get into the interesting parts of patch notes. Not too long ago, they made a post on the Diablo 4 forum things, the news community site they have. Open beta retrospective, transforming feedback into change. And we all saw this, we all read this. This was the changes that we were going to get for the server slam. So. And I'm starting to read through. It's like Barbarian, a flat 10% passive reduction. Wow. Whirlwind does more damage. Double swing, more fury. Wow, that seems pretty good. Wow, that's exciting. All right. Read through. The sorcerer. Oh, there's some sorcerer nerfs. Chargeable damage increase. Oh, mana cost decrease. Well, maybe I'll try chargeable. Decrease the damage of chain lock.
See? They want you to focus on resource generation. Uh-oh. I think my internet's been having a little bit of trouble too. That might have continued or contributed to. Hold on.
And I'm starting to read through. It's like Barbarian, a flat 10% passive reduction. Wow. Whirlwind does more damage. Double swing, more fury. Wow, that seems pretty good. Wow, that's exciting. All right.
Summon minions would die more often, requiring players to utilize corpses more often. Many bonuses in the Book of the Dead have had their stats increased. The damage dealt by corpse explosion skill has been reduced. Yeah, but it's still good though. The brightness of the skeletal warriors and mages has been reduced. They just didn't look all that. They didn't look all that good. Well, yeah, like there needed to be differentiation. I think they just needed a better skin, and I like the new skin. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, let's see what.
Read through the sorcerer. Oh, there's some sorcerer nerfs. Chargeable damage increase. Oh, mana cost decrease. Oh, maybe I'll try chargeable. Decrease the damage of chain lightning. It was a little bit stronger than the other skills. That's true. Decrease the cooldown. Oh, yeah, incinerate was unplayably bad. Firewall will now spot nerdy enemies more frequently using the enchant bows. Wow, that's pretty good. And even things that were nerfs. Minions will die more often, requiring players to utilize corpses more often. Wow. Corpse mechanic.
Yeah, but they want you to use the resource generation nodes more. Like, there are several in there that will allow that. Also for the other resource, essence or whatever, there are several for that as well. It's just maybe somebody was saying that we need to give the development team a little breathing room, because even with all the time we're getting, and maybe it's not completely like, hold them accountable, because they're supposed to be they're professionals, they're supposed to be making a good game, but most of us haven't had the time to really flesh out our characters, go through the talent tree and really pick out what we want to do, really consider the choices that we're going to make. I didn't even get as far down my talent tree in this one as I did the first beta. Like, I moved a lot quicker in the first beta. I think that's a good indicator of how much they did nerf things, that it moved that much slower. I got close. Like I could have moved down the talent tree, but there were things in up top that I still needed, like the resource generation and some of the lucky stuff, and the stuff attached to corpse explosion. Um, so when June 1st comes around, we'll sit down and we'll carefully consider the necromancer and what we need to move forward. Definitely bone splinters. If they don't nerf it anymore, I think bone splinters can work fairly well. The other talents available immediately don't really appeal to me, and I don't know what that means, but maybe it has it's a reflection of how much I've played before, and I've played the necromancer previously in Diablo 2, so they're just not very appealing. I almost regret having the second option that I chose. There is another one on there that looked cool, where it was a resource generation one, where you you cleave flesh off of the enemy and it creates a corpse, which, now that I think about it, would probably be very fucking useful early on. So that will be in my plan for the next one. I don't know if I'll be doing any, or I don't know if I'll be doing very much blood magic. I think I am a summoner. I will be doing the golem when I get down to him. I may work with some blood magic. I don't know. The blood mist does seem appealing if it still works in relative conjunction with corpse explosion. Thorns is the one that I'm going to be investing. I usually go with thorns so that I can get the melee protection, because I do like to wade into combat, especially when I have a melee weapon. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, those are my thoughts on that particular subject.
Wow, the increased buff. All right. Well, that seems pretty good. Let's log right in and see what happens. Well, they have this thing in Diablo 4 where they data mine the patch when it becomes downloadable. So there's a few sources of these. Honestly, there isn't one that I found to be complete, but I just want to quickly go over some of the incomplete ones, because, you know, no one did a great job. It was a bit short notice. Thing is, no one really expected that these patch changes would be that different from the data mining version of the game that we got now versus a few weeks ago. So just for barbarians, just, you know, stunned, a little bit more fortified. That's, you know, it's not bad. Lucky hit chance, how many inches goes up? You know, the violent Hammer of the Ancients. Wow, I guess no one was using Hammer of the Ancients. Whirlwind.
I will do Barbarian down the road. It does seem like a good class,
but the damage is up, which is pretty good.
And fun to play.
So far, it is, you know, it is in line with what we saw there. More Fury double swing. All right. Oh, what? Wait, hold on. What are these? Upheaval, lucky hit chance increase. Okay. Direct damage with an enemy using not upheaval causes the next one deal, instead of 8, stacking 10 times. So it's 130 instead of 180. Massive upheaval nerf. And not only this for upheaval, but there were massive nerfs to legendary powers, primarily the powerful ones for Barbarian. The one that allowed upheaval to stack to a ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one is just barely better if you're playing an upheaval build rather than some. Yeah, like I said, this list is not complete. Iron Skin absorbs more maximum life. Well, that sounds pretty good. More, wow, Iron Skin buffs. Okay. Challenging Shout, duration nerfed. Challenging Shout, thorns nerfed. Rallying Cry, effect nerf. Rallying Cry bonus, effect nerf. Resource from Rallying Cry, nerfed. War Cry, duration nerfed. Nearby allies duration, nerfed. The bonus of War Cry, nerfed.
Ooh.
The War Cry life as fortify, nerfed. Kick, nerfed.
Damn.
Sure. Iron Maelstrom, I don't know. You know, sure, whatever. Wrath of Berserker, a little bit different. Okay, you remember how they made the patch about it being tankier 10%? Reduction to elites, nerfed. Thorns, nerfed. Booming voice, the duration of war cries, because it's a double nerf.
Oh, wow.
Take less damage during the shout skills. Super nerf. Like this thing, your shout skills called enemies to deal. It used to be 24 at level 3, now 12. This change alone completely reverses a flat 10% passive damage. Okay, you get the idea. All right, that's just Barb. And if we're being real, Barb had it easy. Every single class.
Yeah, it was a slaughter.
Every single class. No one escaped the nerfs, and especially Sorcerer. You know, if we go down here,
yeah, she got
Hydra. Lucky hit chance was nerfed. Lucky hit was horrible. If you're not familiar with lucky hit on Hydra, the lucky hit on Hydra is every single hit for the entire duration landing has now 53 instead of 7. This is completely unrealistic.
A little better than half. Than half the time it's going to hit.
Well, they even nerfed the duration. 30 to 12.
Damn.
12 damage. This is like a druid skill now. What am I supposed to do with that, right? Well, the answer is not use it. Hydra builds are, I'm sorry to say it, completely dead.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think Hydra is completely dead. It is just barely an okay skill, but barely.
Like I said, I feel like they don't want anybody to be able to cakewalk through this game. They want this motherfucker to be hard. Okay, let's do it.
Powerful cooldown abilities that Sork has.
And I feel like it has to do with like making it a little bit harder for people to just burn through content. Yeah.
Don't see it. Speaking of which, we had enormous nerfs. 15 per second to 3 from that elite thing that you had to keep shields up. 5-second barriers to 2-second barriers. Absolutely brutal nerfs. The Sork build that I featured a few weeks ago is basically no more. That build is completely gone, and I actually spent most of my week.
It is interesting though, because my build is still relatively intact. Because like I do use Corpse Explosion a bit, but not as much as I use Bone Splinters. And I was already pumping Thorns, and equipping stuff that had Thorns on it. So I don't know. Again, it's going to come down to live day and seeing really what's still intact. I do a bit of min-maxing, but I'm more natural about everything. Like, I will adjust as I move. Like, you know, if something starts to not work, I will adjust and move forward from there. My battlefield adaptability is when I'm first encountering stuff, 50-50. I may come out okay, and I may absolutely fucking suck. But once I've had time to consider my options and and reconsidered my plan of attack, I usually work things out. I think that's best demonstrated in Atomic Heart playthroughs with me, because sometimes I will get stumped, and sometimes I'm like, yeah, okay, right, okay, yeah, all right, sure, like let's proceed, you know.
And kind of figuring out what I want to do. And I'll give you guys another, little review here. Eventually, I wanted to go to the challenge of beating a Shava, and I did so. I farmed some pretty powerful gear, and I ended up making a firewall sorcerer. And before I get into too many of the details of the build,
I just don't have the time to do this. Like my weekends, I'm a manager. I don't have weekends like this. My weekends are Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
And this is something that I do believe requires talking about. The patch notes, roughly, that we got did not in any way correlate to the game version that we got. They left out like 90% of the changes, and conveniently, those changes were nerfs. Serious nerfs. I give you guys one example that alone reverses the survivability buffs of Barbarian. But here's another one. Gems were nerfed. Again, I'm not saying that these changes are bad. I just, yo, Blizzard, give it to me straight next time, okay? Path of Exile's pretty good with this, but even when they slip up, people complain. Those patch notes were a little misleading. Remember these gems? Yeah, these gems gave like 5% life. So they got nerfed to like 2.5%. That kind of sucks, right? Well, there is one gem that got nerfed harder than any other. You know what that is? Damage reduction while fortified. That was, I don't remember exactly, but it was also about 5% for the lower quality of the gem, which is, what we have in the beta. And it's now barely over 1%. It's almost an 80% nerf. That was a colossal part of the survivability for fortified characters. I don't even think fortified characters are going to use fortified damage reduction. It's so bad. Just use life gems, right? Most of the healing in the game is not flat. It's based from skills and a percentage-based form. So, wow. Huge nerfs. And there was a pretty interesting one. I didn't actually bring it up, but it was on Reddit. A lot of necromancers were complaining about minions. And, man, I really should bring it up because it has been quite a ride as well. Now we have, all these necro hotfixes. They got hotfixed. Basically, the necro minions went down like crazy. And you know what? You know what happened with the necro minions? I will tell you.
I've been waiting for you to bring it up.
Worth telling, because you know what? A few months from now, a lot of people will kind of forget about it. Did I miss Necromancer?
Necromancer's down at the bottom, I think.
Necromancer is on this list.
Yeah,
Necromancer. Okay. Well, they admitted that they reduced the survivability of skeletons with the idea that you have a more engaging play style. You will be using.
Stop moving so much, damn.
Often. Well, hey, what the hell is that? Increase the damage and life of skeleton mages is buffed.
Ooh, yeah,
Wait a second. Did they actually buff?
Okay, so passives. Nerf. 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 Oh, they buffed the time, the duration. Damage life here, skeletal mages by, yeah, mastery. Mastery got a bump. Golem mastery. Skeletal priest healing, heal your skeletons for additional. Nice. Okay, that's kind of cool. Minions can't lose more than. minions cannot lose more than 75, 60, 45 of their maximum from a single damage instance. I mean, motherfuckers were wiping the fucking floor with my fucking minions today. You saw that shit. That's crazy. I don't know. Your minion, I don't know. I don't know about that one. We'll have to see when we go live.
In this beta, not just a build, one of the strongest builds from the previous beta, they actually did. What they did is they reduced the skeleton's survivability. I don't know if it's life, I don't know if it's damage reduction, I don't know if it's the amount
it's
of
their durability.
There's basically no transparency on what actually makes the minion what it is in the game, so let's not pretend like we know. Nobody knows. But their survivability went from pretty good to real bad. But their damage actually went up. And this is in an environment where every other form of damage...
Which brings me back to the point that they want, especially for the Necromancer, for you guys, for us to focus on resource generation, because if we can keep corpses on the floor, then in theory, then you can just keep raising your fucking skeletons. I did that a couple of times in battle, where I was generating more corpses than I could drop, and it was just like, it was watching a swarm of skeletons just appear out of thin air, like in Lord of the Rings and Return of the King, where they came out of the fucking mountain and basically ate all the Corsairs. That was fucking awesome. That's one of my inspirations for the Necro, man. Like I am Strider, King Elendil, leading his motherfucking ghost army. You know, like he's a fucking necromancer. Holy shit, Strider's a necromancer. Headcanon, right now.
Damage on every other character went down. So I played a Necromancer, and I ended up making a Necromancer where all I did was trying to keep my minions alive. I went with the dual curse, which I thought was pretty cool. Actually, it worked out really well. And I can tell you it was the highest DPS character I played in this beta, but I did not play Rogue. In terms of the class tier list and all that, yeah, I think Twisting Blades is a real outlier skill. I don't think anything is on the level of Twisting Blades Rogue. But below that, I don't know if it's going to be Sork. It might be Barb. It could very well be Necro. Okay, it's probably not Druid. But Druid is like, cool and stuff, I guess, if you want. And it got nerfed too. But so did everyone. And Druid maybe got nerfed less than the average other class, Copio. Possibly. Anyway, so for Necromancer, they reverted the nerfs. They reverted the nerfs for survivability. In my opinion, the minions are not as tanky as they were in previous patch.
No, they're
still,
not.
Like way less tankier, but it's a lot more playable. However, I have a sneaky suspicion that they actually reduced some of the damage. And it's kind of an interesting thing. I think
the skirmishers lost a bit of damage on the cuff.
High maintenance playstyle, but it's very rewarding. It could have been the highest DPS build in the game, but I didn't really want to bet on this build. I didn't really want to bet on the questionable survivability. That's still pretty questionable, by the way, when content gets harder in the higher difficulty levels. But it looks like it's fixed-ish, and it looks like they're somewhat on top of it, kind of.
I mean,
I really thought about
playing
the Necromancer, but yeah.
He's fun.
I can't do it.
Necro Boy is fun.
I don't want to like deal with the mystery option of, you know, will minions work in higher difficulty levels? Because if they
don't know,
then I'm effectively playing a Sork that doesn't have movement skills or powerful defensive cooldowns. And that's just not going to happen. So, what have I learned about Sork? Sork is massively nerfed. Massively nerfed. The basic skills are largely untouched, and that actually makes Arc Clash one of the best AoE skills available, and Fireball one of the best single target skills available. The Fireball on Explode is still the same, which is really nice. You can have, you know, effective and powerful clear speed builds with Sork. I think even if Sork doesn't top the damage charts, and it might not, it very well might not, we don't really know where it's at, I think you will have a fast farming experience. So I think Sork will have a place somewhere. Flame Shield, I think they up the damage and they lower the duration from scaling with levels. That's fine. I don't really use it for high duration. Teleport is basically unchanged. Even on a Shava, when you have like the 1.5 screen, it still goes the full screen. Teleport, I think, got very slightly nerfed for like the true triple screen teleport across, you know, yeah, so that's fine, totally fair.
Sorry, I'm trying to see, like, I'm not a sword, so, like...
I really need to take less damage from targets that are chilled and frozen? No. They're gonna be chilled and frozen. They're just...
Their icons are really nice. Like,
Do I want to deal more damage to targets that are chilled and frozen? Sure, that's great. But here's the thing. Bosses in Diablo 4 are not affected by any form of crowd control. You can't slow them, you can't chill them, you can't freeze them, you can't stun them, you can't do anything to them. You just can't. That's how bosses work in Diablo 4. So when I have reduced damage taken from chilled enemies, well, that's just not going to do anything against bosses. But again, if we go back to the fire passives, you can burn bosses.
We're not going to watch the whole... I'm not a sorcerer, so I don't need to watch everything. Thought he was going to give more of a complete... I thought he was going to be one of those guys that are like, they did all the builds, but maybe I just need to find... Maybe it is this one.
Overall thoughts of Diablo 4 and how well it went. And honestly, it was pretty positive. I had no connection issues, servers worked great, game worked great. My only big gripe, especially as someone that mains Necromancer, was the nerfs they made to minions. It basically, up to level 20, made them unplayable. And many people felt this same sentiment. And this might be the first video ever that we are starting on Twitter. I can't think of a time I've ever started a video on Twitter. Rod Ferguson. Definitely hearing the feedback on Necro nerfs. I'm feeling them too. Remember, balance is a journey, not a destination. It takes tweaking to get it right. Okay? So, Blizzard, Diablo 4 devs actually came out and said, we know that it's not right. It's a journey, we're gonna fix it. That's 16 hours ago. Now, 10 hours ago, PSA were in the process of rolling out a server-side hotfix buff to Necro Skellies. It will take a while to propagate worldwide, so we appreciate your patience while it's happening. Blizzard Entertainment, Server Slam Weekend, heard our overwhelming voice. Yes, they listened to the community and took immediate action.
I mean, like, so how is the gameplay at high level, like, for what we're playing?
The last time Blizzard did that. I don't know. Maybe it happens all the time. I thought maybe we would get a fix for the actual game rollout. No, they're fixing it this actual weekend. The question is, okay, because I haven't logged into the game since I read this, is it fixed? All right, everyone, we are logged into Diablo 4, so let's do some testing. I am now respec'd into Zeus.
God, that's a nice fucking sword.
In Skeleton Warriors, I've taken Reapers.
Yep.
Okay. And for Skeleton Mages, I have taken Cold.
Okay.
Now, what we're going to do in this World Tier 2 Level 20 dungeon is all I'm going to use is Curse, Decrepify, and I am going to try and heal them.
Probably going to take the cold ones too. I just didn't feel like changing it. I just gotten them, so.
We'll see how our new and improved minions do. So let's take this for a spin. Alright, those wolves died pretty fast. Come on, give us something. Give us more to fight. Let's get a bunch of enemies together.
Those aren't the enemies that you're gonna be concerned with. You're gonna be concerned with the motherfuckers with prefixes and affixes and like that fucking do extra shit and fucking like and hot cleave while you're trying to literally fucking run away because you have no minions.
We are beating the dungeon. So far, none of them have died. Not doing any damage. Alright, we lost some skeletons. They're back up. And obviously this wouldn't be the way you would play them. I'd be casting skills as well. Almost that full army.
Alright, so let's see what this guy does.
Come on. Attack, minions. They're trying. Down to 4. Mage's just running around.
See, this is on the more tame end of things, like that hot cleave motherfucker. That's the one I want to see you fight without using your fucking. Maybe I should be using that channel.
Say, and I made corpses.
Yeah.
We're only going to use our generator skill. That's what I meant to say.
I want to see how you're going to do on a single target boss.
Normally I would be blowing up all these corpses. I really want to showcase their damage. Why are they running? Why are they over here?
Yeah.
Can't tell them who to attack or where to move. Heal them! I need them stronger.
I'm not ready yet.
Okay, so we can talk as we're playing. Are they better? Yes, they can kill stuff and kind of stay alive. So for sure, an overall improvement. I can say that pretty confident.
I mean,
the heal, when you're using it to make, basically using the corpses on the ground to heal them, it almost does nothing. You would think right now I probably just ran through, I don't know, 30 corpses? I did. I just ran through 30 corpses. 30. And so they're barely healed. I honestly don't even know if that's working.
Oh, so you can heal using the corpses. Okay. Okay, I gotcha. I didn't know that. I thought it was wasting corpses doing that.
I don't know. They're still not great. I mean, obviously, they're still not great. Get a whole bunch of people together again. Well, maybe I should just play it like I normally would. So we get a more realistic with me blowing up skeletons as well.
It's definitely not as OP as first beta.
Okay. I'm gonna leave the video right there.
Hmm.
World Tier 2 Level 20 Dungeon. Using all my skills in conjunction with minions, they are stronger, deal more damage, and feel more viable. Maybe they don't even deal more damage. They can just take a hit now without dying. This healing thing, though, needs a little bit of a buff. Needs a little bit of a buff. But overall, is it a step in the right direction?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I give credit where credit is due. Blizzard heard our complaints and took immediate action. Now, do you think they took enough action? I don't know. That's yet to be seen.
I mean, they have been between now and June 1st to work out kinks. I'm okay with that.
The main part for minions is right here, which we can't even get access to. So the big question is, how strong are they going to be once we get leveled more and access to that skill tree? So that's the video. Blizzard, thank you for listening and thank you for taking action. I am happy with this. Let's hope they continue to move in the right direction. Hopefully you're entertained or at least learned something.
I did.
Herein.
I did. I really did. I actually learned something. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. I will subscribe. All right. So I will I might be going to dinner tonight. I might not. I don't know. Give me like 5 minutes. Let me go see what's gonna happen. they've already left yet. Let me text. Because if they've already left for dinner, then I'm gonna order some food and tuck into Atomic Heart. I mean, hell, that'll just give me a reason to go to bed early tonight. You know what I'm saying? Take care of my streaming duties today.